Hi, I hope you're having a really fine day, because I am. And this thing on my head, just to get this going right off the bat, is a headset with a mic. One of the ways it's going to help you is it's going to protect you from that, which is an African gray who sometimes just goes off. And I'm not going to sit here and worry about it. So, my glasses are crooked. So, this is all about a vegan meal. It's all about food besides the word vegan. Just forget about that word. For vegans, they'll like it. If you're not, don't worry. If you want to be smarter, if you want to be more intelligent, okay, and you want to be more beautiful, who doesn't? And if you say you don't, you're lying. It can hurt. The foods I'm going to show you can help you out. So let me just tell you, this was kind of an experiment this evening, and I'm going to tell you what was good and what wasn't. I prepared three things, and I'm going to tell you and what I did, and hopefully, uh, for some, it may give you some tips. They're simple. I made three things. Let's begin. Now, I do want to say that I'm going to show you some of these products. I'm going to show you all of them, and if you can read it, then great. If you can't, so what? Listen to me, and you're going to be able to know exactly what I'm talking about. And you can take notes. So don't tell me you can't see the products and give me all your critiques because I don't give a damn. Okay? What I care about is providing you with some information you didn't have before. So I started with making some rice. Now, I highly recommend rice because it's a great way to give you a good, even burn of energy throughout the day. It's wise to have rice at least two times a day, in the morning and in the afternoon. That way it gets you from your morning into your afternoon. Hey, logic, and from your afternoon into your evening without having a lot of highs and lows. It gives you a good burn of energy. The rice I use this evening is, now that's a real tough one, but it's brown jasmine rice. So now with brown jasmine rice, I use a rice cooker. So it's great if you can make your rice in advance and have it ready to go for your lunches or for whatever. So with your rice, if you're using a rice cooker, it's great because you can get it going and you can move along and use your creative energy for doing other things besides watching it on the burner. So what I used this evening was water. So I clean my rice and it's 1 cup of rice for 2 cups of water. Now, if you want to make your rice a little bit more sexy, you can make it with coconut milk. Again, you can get this. It's a light coconut milk. They sell it at Trader Joe's, and or you can use vegetable stock, things of that sort. And that way, it's a little bit more flavored. I didn't do that tonight, so I have my brown rice sitting there cooking. The next thing is new for a lot of us, and it's a food called tempeh. So now this particular tempeh, I did purchase at Whole Foods, FYI. Um, but the one that I made this evening is plain. I wanted you to be able to see it. So this again is tempeh, Tempeh. Tempeh is a fantastic food that is originally Indonesian. That's where it originated, and it is made from soybean and millet. So tempeh, what's really cool about it is it's wonderful for your stomach. It's really easy to digest, and it's a little grainy. And that way you can use it in sandwiches instead of using meat. And it's fun because you can feel it, you can taste it, you can feel it in your mouth. Now, since the one I used was plain, as I mentioned, these are the things that I added to it. I put the oven at 350 and I used, now there's going to be products I'm going to show you. Hope you can see them. If you can't, tough luck. The first one I used is Island Soyaki. So Island Soyaki, as you can tell by the label, is pineapple-y. Can't you see it looks pineapple-y? It's yellow and green. Looks like a field on Oahu. And anyhow, I layered on the bottom of the cookie sheet or the baking sheet, whatever the hell you want to call it, and I cut the tempeh down the center. Okay, so it's not a very thick package, as you can see, but I get more out of it. So I take the tempeh down the center, I cut it, and I lay them flat down onto a bed of some of the island soyaki sauce. In addition, for more flavor, adding a little bit of smoky, I added this, which is called General Tasso. Toso, yeah, Tasso. So just memorize the look. Guys, we look at the look and we go, it's something a general, something about the army. Okay, so this had a little smoky taste to it, and it turned out great. So you put it in the oven for 10 minutes and you let that bake. Now, this next item is something that is what made this fun in the kitchen night because this was an experiment. I've heard about doing this, but I hadn't done it. Now, here's another food that is going to help you be more beautiful and more intelligent. And most of us could use just a little bit more beauty and a little bit more intelligent. You want to have this food as much as possible. This food, this green leafy, beautiful plant is called kale. Where are you? Yes, it's kale. Now, I use this in my green smoothies, but tonight I got crazy and I decided I was going to bake it. So what I did was, again, the oven is set at 350 from making my tempeh. So here's what I want you to do. You take your kale and you take olive oil. And I'm not going to leave it out. This is the olive oil I use. People ask me all the time, what olive do you, and I'm like, who cares? Use whatever you have. What do you use? This is what I use. All right? No more questions. Olive oil. If you can't spell it, you really shouldn't be watching this video. So the olive oil in a beautiful green dish, because beauty's everything, remember? So you got the beautiful green dish and you got olive oil in. I soaked these stems. Now what you do is you take this, see this middle part? You don't need this core thing. You take it off of it. You don't have to, but this is what I did. You tear it, especially if you're going to use it in a green smoothie. And then I used my hands with the olive oil. I used my hands. It's my house. These are my hands, and I'm the only one eating here tonight. And I stirred it up. When you touch your food, all of the energy, the love, and the interesting thoughts that you're having, and the vitality and the zest goes into the food. It becomes a part of what you're doing. That's why homemade foods are so much better. Why? The love. So your mood matters. So don't be all pissed off and grumpy because you'll screw your whole recipe up. So then I took 21 Seasons Salute. Again, if you can't see it, I don't care. It's 21 Seasons Salute. This stuff is fabulosity. You heard me. It's delicious. 21 Seasons Salute you can use in everything. Your eggs, your soups, your salads. A lot of people use it as a salt substitute so they don't get all bloated. So if you're fat and old, or if you're young and thin, too much salt, use 21 Seasons Salute. If you put this in your coffee, however, I will hit this over your head. It's not for coffee. Now, in addition to baking my kale in those items, I used sea salt. Now, it was a mistake. You heard me. I made a mistake. I used salt. I should never have used salt. That's my bird from too much salt. She just hit the floor. So I won't do that next time. Now, the end result is I put it all into a Tupperware dish because remember, I'm still not hungry. I wonder why. I wonder if it was the pot of coffee. Anyhow, this is how it looks. So the tempeh that was very pale and white is now smoky and delicious. It's sitting on a bed of my beautiful rice, this jasmine rice. And let me tell you, this is the trip. Here's my kale, right? And this mic can pick it up. Can you hear that? I know you can. I can hear it. The stuff is crunchy. I'm like tripping out. It was like this before. Now it's like that. Guess what? In my experiment, what I discovered is the rice, which as I told you was made with water, so it's, rice, it's a little bit bland. If you take the kale and you can see, can you hear it? I can chop it up and take a bite of it with the kale. Oh my God. I'm sorry, I have food in my mouth. I don't care. It's my house. Fabulous. This is absolutely delicious. I could add some steamed broccoli or cauliflower. This is an entire fabulous meal. Easy to digest, fun on the body, completely vegan, no animal products. However, I did forget one item. I do want to give a shout out for Bragg's liquid amino acid. This stuff is really cool, and this bottle is unique because it's a spray bottle. Spray, spray, spray. I put that right on my rice. Frankly, I like the Bragg's amino acids better than I like Trader Joe's soy sauce. Not as salty. It's just a better product as far as taste goes. So that's it. That's my meal for this evening. I hope some of this gives you an idea, and if it doesn't, I hope you've amused yourself because I've had a really good time. Please take a chance and visit camberhill.com. That would be me, and